For the last 2 years, the answer to which 3D printer should I buy has been boringly simple. The Bambu Lab P1S. It's the iPhone of printing, it just works. But today, Creality isn't just trying to copy Bambu anymore. They are bringing a bazooka to a knife fight. This is the K2 Pro. It's bigger, it's hotter, on paper it destroys the P1S. But specs are just marketing until you hit print. Let's find out if the king is finally dead. Hi, I'm Vitek and this is 3D Daddy channel. Now to start, it would be good to address that I have had the P1S for over a year now and it was my first 3D printer ever. And also kind of the reason why I stuck to 3D printing at all. But I will give it my best to be as objective as possible and make a good judge. So let's dive into it. We have to be fair. There is a reason the P1S is the default choice. And as Mehenstein has said, I haven't had to touch the hardware at all. It just prints. And I think that's one of the main advantages of Bambu Lab. They just make it super easy to use. And it's something that I really appreciated when I started out. But being reliable doesn't matter if your project simply doesn't fit. This is where the K2 Pro stops being polite and starts bullying the P1S. We are talking about 350mm cubed build volume. And that isn't just a small advantage. That is a 155% increase in printable space. While P1S owners are cutting their models into pieces and gluing them together, K2 owners are hitting print once and going to sleep. Now usually, new Creality printers are a mess at launch, but the early reports are surprisingly different. Users like Software Background 31, who upgraded from an Ender 3, are reporting that the experience has been flawless, and I cannot say anything different. And I feel the same level of reliability as with the P1S. It's the printer that doesn't need to be babysit once the print starts. But here's the catch. A massive build volume is actually a trap. Because when you print huge objects in engineering plastic like ABS, physics start working against you. It pulls, it shrinks, and it lifts off the plate. The P1S uses what we call passive heating. It's basically a greenhouse. It just traps the heat coming off the bed. It struggles to get above 45 degrees. The K2 Pro doesn't really rely on luck. It has a dedicated active chamber heater that pushes the temperature to a rock solid 60 degrees. This is the difference between a toy and a tool. If you want to print durable car parts or outdoor gear in ASA, 60 degrees is the magic number. And just as I did, you will appreciate the heated chamber during winter. Now, Historical Art on Reddit argues that the P1S is the best dollar for dollar printer made. And for PLA, he's absolutely right. But the second you need ABS, the value proposition dies. The K2's heater makes it the only viable choice for engineering. And don't we all love having a jet engine running in our bedroom? If you have ever owned a P1S, you know the monstrous sound this thing produces. The chamber fan is notorious. It's not just a white noise, it's a vacuum cleaner. I measured it at nearly 68 decibels. Now the K2 Pro is physically larger and has more fans, so you would think it would be worse. But surprisingly, the larger frame dampens the vibration better. It's still not library quiet, but it's not going to wake the neighbors. But why is it that these two brands are very often compared to Android and Apple? Bambu Lab is polished, safe and works perfectly, as long as you play by the rules. But Creality is Android because it gives you root access out of the box. It's messy, it's risky, but it's yours. Using Creality was as if you were walking in a jungle, while using Bambu Lab is as if you are in a polished, nice looking garden. But enough of talking. Let's find out what these printers can actually do by putting them head to head against each other. And as we all know, the best method to test the printer is to make it print a benchy. To give both of them the same chance, I went with the same settings in the slicer, which should make it a fair fight. We will be using PLA since it's the most common type. Even after slicing, we can see slight differences. And Bambu Lab definitely isn't the one winning. Not only does it take longer, but it is even taking more material. But what really matters is what happens in real life, not in a slicer. So let's start the prints at the same time. It started getting hot very soon, and both the printers started preparing. They loaded their filaments at pretty much the exactly same time. But the K2 Pro started printing a lot sooner, getting a quick head start. From that point on, I sat there watching both the printers have a fair fight, fighting for their glory. It was like watching two elite warriors fight for the throne, where only one survives and the other gets left behind. And as we all know, speed isn't everything, so even though the K2 Pro was way ahead, what about the quality? Will it be worse? Will it be better? That's the answers we need to get. And that's why I'm here, trying to support both sides, being as objective as possible. With that being said, the K2 Pro definitely wins in speed. But what about quality? Did it exchange it for it? Is Bambu's slower printing time actually the reason why they have such an amazing prints? This could be the reason why Creality will fail. After both finished, I started examining the results, so that we can decide who wins and takes the lead. Now this will be hard because both the printers did an amazing job. As you can see, both the benchies are looking amazing. But since I promised full honesty, the Bambu Lab P1S wins this one. And to not get eaten by the 3D printing community, I know this is not the best way to test it, and it really depends on the settings, but I used it as a simplification and to show you what they can do. And if you are deciding which printer to get, if you are more of a starter but would still like something that lasts and is reliable, I recommend the Bambu Lab P1S. But if the budget is there and you have some kind of prior experience, I would recommend the K2 Pro. Both of these printers serve me really well and I wish that they do even in the future. And honestly, putting these two giants against each other took way longer than I expected. About 2 days of testing and filming since I'm a beginner. So if you got any value out of this, a sub would mean a world to me. And let me know in the comments. I really appreciate them and I do read every single one of them. I will see you in the next one.